Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. If you use this HEROES promo code for a discount between October 28th, 2022 through November 18th, 2022, you will automatically be entered into a sweepstakes where you could win a Brothers War set booster box. There is also another way to enter where no purchase is necessary. See the link in the description below for full details. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. So, the market is surprisingly slow this week considering the Brothers War has now been fully revealed. That set is moving a few cards, you're going to see that throughout the video today, but overall the market is just really sluggish. You'll see a number of cards going down today. This is going to be another shorter video this week, but there's still some interesting cards out there. The threshold for the video will again be $2. We're not going to talk about a card unless it's moving at least $2 up or down. Couple things though I wanted to mention really quickly before we get started. Thank you to one of the viewers, BKvid, for the super thanks that you gave us on last weekend's video. Hopefully I'm saying that name right. I really appreciate the support. I just added the super thanks option. I mentioned it briefly at the end of the video. And on Wednesday's video, I actually got a big number of super thanks. So if you gave anything during that video, I'm going to give the thank you in the following Wednesday video. So it's going to be about a week later. So don't think I forgot you. In fact, I did get so many tips from the Wednesday video that I'm going to take that money and put it into the channel. And I'm going to get a Brothers War set booster box to open and do some more content for you. I'm also going to try to make some different content going into the new year. And the super thanks do help with that. I do want to put some more time in, try some different things, maybe do some shorts, things of that nature. So again, thank you for the support for everybody who is supporting through that way. But anyone who just watches the videos, gives a like, a comment, that helps a ton. So don't feel like you have to give through this option. If you do, wonderful, it's appreciated, but just watching the videos is awesome. Thank you all very much. And one more quick thing, and I promise we'll get right into it. As always, you can go to FlipsideGaming.com and use that Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can pre-order the Brothers War products there. We also have the sweepstakes going on with them now. If you'd like to see those details, there's a link in the description below. But you could win yourself a Brothers War set booster box, perhaps. Remember, if your order's over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Also, whenever you use the Heroes promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated. So thank you, and without any further ado, let's get into it. We'll begin, as we always do, with the standard legal spotlight. Just one card to discuss today. It is one moving down, and it is Liliana of the Veil. This is the Innistrad copy down 227 to 6310. So not too surprising that things are pretty steady right now in the standard market. People are going to want to wait and see what's going to happen when it comes to the Brothers War. Now, about Liliana specifically, of course, this was reprinted in Dominaria United, making it standard and Pioneer legal, but also adding a lot of new copies to the marketplace. I'm sure it's going to have a role in the new standard going forward. Currently, you see this in Rakdos midrange, Mono Black midrange, sometimes Grixis midrange, and more in the format. Pioneer, it's in Rakdos midrange, Mono Black midrange, and more there. And as you know, this has been a solid modern card for a long time. It's in Jund builds, 8 racks, sometimes Rakdos midrange scam. And it's even getting additional commander play now in new builds like Sheoldred the Apocalypse. I've seen people add this to Dominaria United's Legends Legacy commander deck, or put it in fresh builds around a card from there, Shannon Sleeper Scourge. That quickly brings us to the Pioneer legal spotlight. First we have some cards moving down, then a couple moving up. Emrakul, the Promised End, is down 213 to 6346. This was jumping aggressively not too long ago, but now it continues to retract and find its price point based on the amount of play that it currently sees. In Modern, it's in Mono Green Tron, Eldrazi Tron, sometimes Amulet Titan. It gets some commander play too, usually in codes like the Great Distortion, and it is getting additional play now and builds around a card from Legends Legacy, the Peregrine Dynamo. The Great Henge, this is down after some recent increases, down 223 to 5919, and Pioneer, this is in Golgari Aggro. This has been a popular commander card too, and it has seen more play recently in new builds. Joda the Unifier, it's a good upgrade to the Tyrannid Swarm Warhammer 40k commander deck, and it's in fresh builds around a couple cards from there, the Swarm Lord and Magus Lucia Kane. Everybody's favorite card, Renata Called to the Hunt. This is down 548 this week to 1973, but it is the copy from the list, only there for Strixhaven. Since this is a hard to find card online, the price is currently inflated. The ones that are out there just have really high asking prices, and even though this has been going down in value over the last couple of weeks, this price is still very inflated. Nobody's spending $19.73 for this card. You can get the original one for just a few cents. And you might want to, because it does show up in a variety of Commander builds. Last card moving down in this section is Mox Amber, down 615 to 5813. This is being reprinted as one of the retro frame artifacts in the Brothers War. That's why it's soft right now. Does see a fair amount of modern play. It's in the Grinding Station builds and to a lesser degree Neo brand. It's also in a variety of Commander decks too, including new ones like Joda the Unifier. Good upgrade again to Legends Legacy, and it's in new builds around the front-facing Commander from there. The Hada Binder of Wills. First card moving up today is Stitcher's Supplier. This is the one from the list though. It goes up $204 to $7. It was part of the list from Innistrad Midnight Hunt through Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Then it did return for one more set, Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. In Pioneer, it's already in the popular Abzan Greasefang deck, but Brothers War is reprinting Diabolic Intent, which may push this deck in the future now that that card will be Pioneer legal. That's the main reason there's a little attention on this right now. Also, you see this in Orzhov Zombies there. Legacy, it's in Hogak decks. Same with Vintage. And it is seeing more Commander play now too. Good upgrade to one of the Warhammer 40k Commander decks, Necron Dynasties. And it's a new builds around a card from there too, Trazen the Infinite. And at the end of the day too, the Brothers War could have another big impact on this card because it is bringing back the Unearth mechanic. So there could be a lot of other cards that you see playing well with this in the future. Last card in this section is Chromatic Orrery. This goes up $331 this week to $29.90. And this is getting some increased Commander play now thanks to Dominaria United and Warhammer 40k. This is in many Joda the Unifier builds. Also a good upgrade to Necron Dynasties and fresh builds around Trazen the Infinite again. But the Brothers War is having the biggest impact on this currently. This, along with one of the cards from there, Drefna, Founder of Latnam, and Mana Crypt, will allow you to create a loop for Storm. Perhaps you could use Brain Freeze as a win condition in competitive Commander, for example, with that combo. Due to combinations like that, Chromatic Orrery is getting some more attention from speculators. Welcome to the Modern Legal Spotlight. Again, we have some cards going down, couple going up. Solitude down 237 to 3761. Now this is seeing less play in Modern since the banning of Yorion Sky Nomad, which did change the meta. You used to see this in Omnith Locus of Creation decks with Yorion, for example, but it still gets a lot of play. It's in Azorius Control, Jeskai Control, and more in Modern. Legacy, it's in Death and Taxes, Mono White Stacks, Mono White Stoneblade. This is also getting more Commander play now. It's a good upgrade to the Warhammer 40k deck, Forces of the Imperium, and it's in fresh builds around a couple of cards from there. Celestine the Living Saint, and Marneus Kelgar, which has become a popular Commander recently. Ragavan Nimble Pilfer is down 247 this week to 7164. This continues to retract after some recent increases. The reason it got hot not too long ago is because it is in those Modern Grinding Station builds. They're still seeing a good amount of play, but not as much as they were seeing before the meta shift. It's in a lot of other good Modern decks though. Murktide Regent, Rakdos Midrange Scam, and much more. Vintage, you see this in 4-color Tempo, Jeskai Control. This also is getting increased Commander play in a newer build, Joda the Unifier. Phyrexian Obliterator, but this is the copy from the list. It was there from Zendikar Rising through Modern Horizons 2. It goes down 251 this week to 39.35. It is retracting after some recent increases, but seeing more Commander play in new builds at times, Shieldred the Apocalypse, Braids Arisen Nightmare, and much more. Endurance also going down this week, down 291 to 38.93. Much like Solitude, this is seeing less play now that Yorion has been banned in Modern. It was also in the Omnith Locus of Creation builds alongside Yorion, for example. But this too is still seeing a lot of Modern play. It's in Yawgmoth, Amulet Titan, and much more. This also gets a lot of Legacy play in Elves, Selesnya Depths, and more there. Vintage, you see this in Hogak Vine as well as Squee Hollow Vine. And it's in a number of different Commander builds. Doubling Season for Modern Masters goes down 302 this week to 89.99. Again, another card retracting after some recent increases. Huge Commander card, as you know. You see this in a lot of different decks, and it has been seeing even more play recently. Great upgrade to Tyranid Swarm, and in fresh builds around Magus Lucia Kane and the Swarm Lord from there. And the last card going down today is Denizen of the Deep, but this is the copy from Portal's Second Age. Take this with a grain of salt. It goes down 317 to 1367 in theory. This version of the card is always very turbulent. There's not a lot of copies of it for sale. Some of the copies out there have very high asking prices. That's why you see this inflated price, even though it is moving down this week. Nobody's paying $13.67 for this. You can get other copies for just a few cents. And honestly, this card doesn't even get much play to speak of. First card moving up in this section is Wooded Foothills. This is the original copy from Onslaught. It goes up 241 this week to 74.57. So this time we have a card rebounding after some recent dips. It's a fetch land, so you know it sees extensive play in many decks and many formats. This is all over Modern, Legacy, it's even in Vintage builds, and of course this is in many Commander decks old and new. And everything I just said about Wooded Foothills, just copy and paste right over here to Polluted Delta. This is the original Onslaught copy. It is up 397 this week to 95.85. And that takes us to the Vintage Spotlight. This is where we talk about cards that see play in Legacy, Vintage, or cards that are just popular among collectors this week. Now, for some of the cards in this section, the price you see is going to be a little more reminiscent of what you might see on a price tracking website. And that's because, at least in some cases, the cards we look at here don't necessarily get a lot of sales in any given week. They don't necessarily have a lot of copies for sale at any given time in high grade. So sometimes we do have to lean a little bit harder on asking prices. Also, for some of the older, more iconic Magic cards, the price you see on the screen might fall in between the price of a high-grade raw and high-grade graded copy. But if the price isn't at least close to the middle between those two types of cards, or in general if the price is not matching up with what I'm seeing when it comes to recent sales, I will point that out. We'll start things off though with a card that is seen a lot in the secondary market. This is Mana Crypt. Eternal Masters goes up 203 to 194.88, and the Double Masters copy is up 328 to 189.97. So remember, Wizards did sell more Mystery Booster Convention Edition boxes as part of a Secret Lair bundle called Festival in a Box not too long ago, so I'm sure there's some more copies of this moving into circulation, but it's still a popular card. Like we talked about earlier, the combo I mentioned regarding Drafna, founder of LatNam, is pushing this right now too. In Vintage, you see this in 4-color Tinker, Prison Shops, and more. It's in lots of Commander decks, including new ones like Shieldred the Apocalypse. It's a good upgrade to Forces of the Imperium, and in fresh builds around Marnius Kelgar from there. Additionally, it's a good upgrade to the Heads I Win, Tails You Lose Secret Lair Commander deck. Personal Tutor is up 336 this week to 84.99. Haven't seen this card in a little while, but still doing a lot of the same things. In Legacy, you see this in Doomsday. This is also in some different Commander builds. It's an older card yet to be reprinted, so it is hard to find in high grade. Ancient Tomb from Ultimate Masters is up 356 this week to 69.78. This was in the list from Midnight Hunt through Neon Dynasty. In Legacy, this is in Mono Red Prison, Painter, and much more. Vintage, you see this in Prison Shops, Combo Shops. This is a big Commander mana base card too in many different builds, including some new ones. Shieldred the Apocalypse. I am seeing this being added to Forces of the Imperium decks, as well as being placed in new builds around Marnius Kelgar. Next we have Psionic Blast, and this is from Unlimited. All the rest of the white border cards in this section are from Unlimited, so I won't keep saying that. But this one's going up 10.51 this week to 68.92. Thunder Spirit is up 18.38 to 192.38. Vesuvan Doppelganger is up 68.66 to 365.81. Scrubland goes up $90 to $842.99. Now we're into some big movers, at least in theory. Fork is up 137.60 to 353.48. Is that for real? Well, high-grade raws can break 270 now. I have not seen a high-grade graded copy sell for a while, but when one does, it could pass the price on the screen. Mahamadi Jinn, this is up 148.38 to 246.76, or is it? Well, high-grade raws can break 150. I did see a graded 9 recently sell for just a little bit more than the 150, so it would have to be in pretty high grade to get to the 246.76. Chaos Orb, this is up 202.41 to $1,649.99. Is that for real? Well, high-grade raws can get to about $1,380. I haven't seen a high-grade graded copy sell for a bit, but when one does, it could pass this price. Library of Alexandria is the last card in this section. It goes up $1,049.98 to $4,499.97. Is that one for real? Well, I've seen a graded 9 sell for about the price you see on the screen recently. High-grade raws can go for about $22.60 now. And that takes us to the Commander Spotlight. So all the cards in this section are moving, at least in part because of Commander, but there could be other reasons too. And in some cases, Commander might not even be the key driver, but I'll let you know as we go through. Survival of the Fittest from Exodus goes up $2 to $249.99. Small percentage increase here for this card, but it is in a variety of Commander builds. Jeweled Lotus, this is up 205 to 106.41. This is rebounding slightly after some recent decreases. Big commander card in many decks, including new ones like Shieldred the Apocalypse. It's also getting used as an upgrade to a couple of the Warhammer 40k decks pretty frequently, the Ruinous Powers and Forces of the Imperium. Additionally, I see this in new builds around Be'lakor the Dark Master from the Ruinous Powers deck, and also around Marneus Kelgar from Forces of the Imperium. Edgar Markov. Haven't seen this one in a while. This is the copy from Commander 2017. It only comes in foil. It goes up 218 this week to 77.98. Another card that's recently lost some value, but starting to rebound a little. As you know, it's a very popular commander. Krark Clan Ironworks. This is up $2.25 to $31. It's been a while since we've seen this card. It has been getting increased commander play, though, in a few places. It's a good upgrade to Necron Dynasties. It's also new builds around a few cards from there. Imhotep the Stormlord, Trazyn the Infinite, and Anrakyr the Traveler. Of course, though, Brothers War is an artifact-centric set, so this could be seeing more play in the future, and I do think some are already speculating on that. Maelstrom Wanderer. This is the copy from Plane Chase 2012. It goes up $2.53 this week to $16.85. This is a fairly popular commander and seeing more play now on some new builds in that format, like Jodah the Unifier. It's also a very good upgrade to the Dominaria United Painbow commander deck, and used in new builds around a card from there, Jared Carthalion. Our last card today is Shabraz the Sky Shark, and this is the copy from the list. It was only there for Kaldheim. Because of that, this price is pretty inflated. You don't see a lot of copies of this for sale, and the ones you do see, at least in some cases, are overpriced. Theoretically, this is up $3.12 to $9.99, but nobody's paying this for the card. You can get the original one for much, much cheaper. When it comes to gameplay, though, it's a fairly popular commander with Brawlin Sky Shark Rider, but it's also in the 99 of some new builds at times. Shanna Purifying Blade is one of them. Also, this is a good upgrade to Forces of the Imperium, and in fresh builds again around Marneus Kelgar. Before I go to this week, I don't have a premium spotlight. Again, the market was just so slow. Now, yeah, there's always card spiking and dipping in the premium market, but I try to pick things that feel like their movement is more substantial and perhaps lasting, and I just didn't see anything jump out to me this week. I'm sure something will pop up for next week's video. It usually does. But until next time, hey, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page, as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.